Hey everyone, welcome to a premium episode of SLP's Wine and Cheese. I'm Maria.
I'm Deb.
And here we have, joining us, is Emily Brullo.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks for taking the time out to talk to us. We wanted to get to know you.
Yeah, well, Emily, she's an SLP, right? So we didn't just call any ordinary person. This is a very specific type of trade that she has here commonly with us.
Yes.
Also, Emily, we've known for a while because we all went to school together.
That's right. And I know Emily very well because we work in the same school together. We're in the same room 5 days a week, 7 or 8 hours a day.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
I didn't know it was that extensive.
It's pretty extensive. Our communication is we're like this.
Nice.
Yeah, so she's my work wife. We call each other work wives.
Oh,
you know? Yeah.
Sweet. I don't have a work wife.
Oh, well, everyone should get one, and that's what I think this episode should focus around.
Find your work wife?
Find it. Find her and propose to her.
And propose? How do you propose and make somebody your work wife?
I don't know.
You have laminating paper. A lot of it.
Laminating
paper is our gold and diamonds.
Right. Yes.
Nice.
We like to hoard laminating paper too, you know.
What is laminating paper? Like the sheets that you put in?
Yes.
Yeah, I take those from the copy room too. I brought my own laminator to school, but I just keep it in my room, and then I take the sheets from the copy room.
Right.
Yeah, and we laminate all the kids' work after it's done, and they're always like, it's hot, but it's not. They're fine.
Me and Maria have a different philosophy on laminating, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, no, we can get into it now. It's exciting.
What is it? Let's hear it.
We only laminate something if we're going to need it in approximately 10 years. We laminate nothing. We ghetto laminate if we have to with sides of like tape, you know, like packing tape, the clear tape. It's great. It's a good trick. It's economical.
Yes.
When we see you don't want to waste the Wonder sheets.
Yes.
No, it's like a precious commodity. When I see someone laminating something for like winter, I'm like, okay, you're only going to use this 1 month. Not 1 month, you know, one season. Not worth it. Don't laminate it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You're intense. Yeah. I like to laminate artwork.
All right.
And then I send it home with them.
We can agree to disagree.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't use it for materials.
Right. I see what you're saying.
No. I do it for signs.
Signs are good, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. I see your point.
Right.
So, Em went to St. John's. So, tell us, how about your grad school experience and undergrad?
So, I had a similar experience to Maria where I was a grad assistant. I worked in the Office of Student Life, which was the funnest office on campus. No offense to Maria in her office, but our office was specifically in charge of spending all of the money. So I would be told like, okay, you're having a carnival, your budget is $50,000, you know, book whatever you can book. And, you know, I got to really see how much money St. John's puts into the behind the scenes fun activities and why tuition is so high, but it was a really fun job. And that paid for grad school, which was awesome. So that was a blessing.
Yeah, once again, I'm the only person on this show that paid for college. I just can't. Nobody else paid but me. And now I'm going to go work for St. John's, and Emily's talking about how much money they have that they're not giving to me, because I looked at those numbers, and they aren't high.
Well, I was a professor at St. John's too.
Yes.
2 years ago, I was an adjunct. So make sure, get to campus early, get to those free barbecues, get to those events, you know, get your money's worth out of the time.
That's a good
I don't know if I even need to do all that stuff. I'm just going to have to go and leave. I'm going to be like, get me out of here. Did you teach a 3-hour class, a 2-hour class?
No, I taught a 3-hour class once a week.
Mine's 4:50 to 7:10.
4:50 to 7:10.
6:50. That's like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
That's weird. Mine was 3 hours. So I told my students, do you want to take a break in the middle or do you want to get out 15 minutes early? And they elected to get out 15 minutes early because I went to St. John's and I remember that's kind of how it was always presented to us as students.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good.
I'm going to make everyone stay the full time and no break.
I love you. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I love you. It'll be
fun. Yeah.
So tell us now, so you work for the Department of Education like I do. So tell us, I mean, even though I already know.
With kids with autism, that's the bulk of my caseload. I love them. Every day is interesting. Nothing is ever boring at our site. It's always something new and exciting and different. And besides children with autism, we also have a lot of children with Down syndrome on our caseload.
Yes.
And so they're also really, they're part of my heart. I love working with them as well. And it's really very rewarding, not to sound, stereotypical, but when they make progress, it means that much more than if, a child who's typically developing made progress. That's awesome too. But for these kids, they have to work so much harder to make that little bit of progress.
Yeah, that's such a good point.
So what ages are they?
Between about 6 and 11. So kindergarten through 5th grade, but I don't really have kindergarten this year.
And what percentage of your caseload is nonverbal?
I would say none of them right now are nonverbal, because at this point, anybody that needed a device has a device, has a form of communication. We don't have any children that do not have a way of communicating. We have some children that are less verbal than others, some minimally verbal, maybe 10% minimally verbal, but nobody is 100% nonverbal.
Okay.
Right.
And how many of the kids on your caseload have a device?
I have about 14 kids on my caseload, which is relatively small compared to years past. And I want to say maybe 6 of them have devices. So not a math person, but I don't know, 40% about.
Okay.
Emily last year had a lot of students where she did evaluations with them to get a device. So I always feel like Em's very techie, and she knows a lot about LAMP, and LAMP is Word for Life. So whenever I have a question, I'm like, Emily, help me here.
So you like the high-tech AAC?
I love it all. I do like LAMP. I prefer LAMP to Protocol to Go. That's my personal preference.
Mm-hmm.
But Go Talks are great. Big Macs are great. You have to start with what you have. We have a lot of Go Talks, which we also hoard in our closet, but we give those out. Those are very generous with. If a kid needs one, they can have it. We don't hoard them, but
right.
We stock up.
Yes.
When our supervisor offers us one, we're like, sure, just give us more.
Wait, what is that?
Oh, it's a static device.
So what does it do?
You push the buttons, and then it speaks for you, but you have to change the sheets.
Oh, okay. Yes.
A single message.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so it has a sentence strip thing.
It has
with
different
a reader.
buttons. There's 20 symbols, and then you could change them and stuff. But we want to trial out a kid. We obviously use the ones we have in our closet, and we see, and we use it across different environments. But yeah, we have some. If we're not using them, we'll take them.
Right, because you want to keep those for your hoarding. Yes.
That's a theme in our relationship.
Em's been watching the Spark Joy, right? And she did the Konari method in her closet.
Oh, are you a happier person now?
I am. I am a Virgo. I do like to be organized, but I'm deficient in something where I'm not naturally organized. I have to force myself to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But once things are organized, I am so much calmer and, just less stressed out.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel definitely I am calmer and I'm able to focus better when I am in a clean, organized atmosphere. I just feel like I don't always have the time and availability to do it. So it just doesn't happen really. But I mean, everything in I call it a happy mess. It's not perfect, but things are relatively where they belong.
As long as you can work and you can, get through it, that's fine.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I have this space too, so I hide in here.
We share the speech room, so I'm more I can't function if it's a mess. So if it's just papers everywhere, I put them in piles. So I didn't really do much there, but at least I put stuff in piles.
So you make piles?
I make piles.
Okay.
I'm a pile maker.
That's what hoarders do at newspapers, right? Their houses are just filled with piles of newspapers. So Maria's just training herself. to get it.
The problem is, like, I hate paper and I would love to throw it all in the trash, but then there's always something like, all right, but this is an assessment. Like, what if we could use this? This, we have too many copies of it. But what if we need it in 5 years? It's, you never know. We have so many assessments for prompts that I don't know when we made these copies of the global domain analysis after bridging that we never used. And we have like a stack like this big of them, then we should probably start using them.
Right. We were really, I think, after Emily and I took our bridging course together for prompt. There's intro and then bridging, so we did bridging together. Mm-hmm. And after that, I guess we were so like gung ho. We're like, make copies of everything.
Yeah. You're like, this is my new life.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of prompt, Emily and I are also doing the prompt certification together.
So you're like twins.
Yeah. Pretty much, actually.
Yeah.
We went to St. John's. We have like parallel
You
lives.
We didn't pay.
We like to hoard things sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And you're getting prompt certified.
Yes.
Yeah.
So are you as stressed out about it as Maria is?
I want to say no.
Right.
No?
Yeah, no, you could say no. It's okay.
Yeah, I just want to smack her sometimes.
She puts a lot of pressure on herself, but she's doing amazing. And
I know. I want to be like, I would die if I was in your head. Like if I tormented myself to the extent that you do, I would be like I don't know.
We watch each other's videos, which is really helpful to give each other feedback.
Yes.
Maria's like, so, like, did I do this prompt right? Is this okay? Does this look right? And I'm like, how does my hair look?
Right, yeah. Right, that would be me too. I'd be like, oh, my makeup isn't so good in this. We should redo it.
Not that I don't care. I do care, but.
No, you definitely care. No,
yeah.
No. I'm going to take this a little bit as a compliment, but also
I didn't mean it as a compliment.
Yeah, I know you didn't.
I wasn't trying to compliment you. It's so funny how she spins things. She just spins it. She's like, but you know what that does mean? It means I care.
It does.
I'm very dedicated. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, crazy dedicated. Either one you want to use.
I'm crazy dedicated.
Right. Yeah.
But I am gonna calm down a little bit more. So I appreciate your feedback. I'm taking it as a compliment that I am dedicated, crazy dedicated.
Right.
But maybe less crazy.
Right, just because, like, just for the sake of your own self. Like, I bet, like, if you, like, thought about it, how often is your tongue, like, smashed up against the roof of your mouth because you're just so, like, stressed?
Oh, okay.
Think about it. Everyone think about it from now on. Like, release your tongue from the roof of your mouth and you'll realize, oh, my tongue's, like, here all the time because I'm stressed.
Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm thinking, how do you prompt that word?
That's what I was thinking, too. I'm like, T or D? What is it?
That's right. And you're big with using T and D in our tick,
right? Oh, I love T and D.
Yeah.
Because they're just the precise sounds, and P. And I think, like, so many people, they just, like, fixate on the problematic sounds. But if you really perfect those sounds that require, like, that significant closure and airflow for whichever sound it is that you're doing, then that's going to improve clarity across the board. We're frozen. Are you still there? Oh, there you are.
There we are.
Okay. Yeah, that's how I feel about that.
I agree.
Good. So I know that you also have experience with feeding therapy.
Yes.
Is that right?
I took a course a few years ago. It wasn't SOS. It was a different course called AEIOU because I had a student with very severe feeding issues on my caseload, and I wanted to go to something, and that happened to be in the area at the time. I mostly work with behavioral feeding, sensory feeding, not so much feeding tube and that type of feeding therapy. That's not my area.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. And do you have any tips or strategies, like how to initiate that process or things that people should keep in mind when they are pursuing feeding therapy?
Well, the number one thing is the family. Involve them. Make sure that you, if you could have the parent come up in person and show you how they feed their kid, that's the best thing that you could do. But just a lot of parent and family communication. You want to make sure that you guys are on the same page. Make sure that everybody is on the same page, including classroom staff, paras, Because for a child with a sensory feeding issue, if you're working on yogurt and somebody has the genius idea, like, I'm going to make some cereal in the yogurt today in the lunchroom, and you're not there, and now that kid is gagging because this is a new texture, and now you just regressed because that kid is not going to eat yogurt for
right, because they're a little traumatized now, right? So you just want to make sure that, like, you're maintaining communication with anybody who's involved with that child.
Absolutely.
Because feeding is, like, such a major part of everyone's day and life.
Yeah, and feeding to me is more of an emotional, and it's like such a connection between the family and the kid, and it's cultural, and you know, who's to say what is normal cuisine? Like, we have a student who eats nothing but like cold cuts, but that's what his family eats. So to me, that's not a behavioral, like, that's what his mom sends him for lunch. You know, maybe he doesn't want to eat salads. So that to me is not a reason to treat him for therapy. He's just eating what his family sends him.
Right, but you know how that worked out for Tony Soprano.
Yes.
Nobody
shouldn't be exposed to new foods and fresh foods, but I don't look at that as a sensory feed.
Right, yeah, no, I was just joking. I was just saying, like, cold cuts they're delicious and all, but they might kill you.
They might. They have nitrates.
Yeah. But, like, also, I have a rule, though, that, like, whatever you can't eat when you're pregnant, like, I just, except alcohol, I do consume that. But, like, if you're not supposed to have it when you're pregnant, I'm like, well, why not? It's probably going to kill anything else in me, too. For her
department. You eat sushi?
I eat sushi, but I eat, like, sweet potato tempura roll.
I'm going to have a nut.
You're like me.
Or, like, yeah, like, I'll eat the crab ones, too, but that's, like, artificial crabs, too. And it's not raw because they had to cook the crab. I don't really eat. Actually, I did go to a fancy sushi restaurant recently and ate, like, everything, and it was good. But for the most part, I don't even know what to order, so I just get avocado and cucumbers.
That's what I get.
We like to order sushi at work for, like, a special occasion, or it's like,
oh yeah, didn't you have a sushi burrito?
I did. Did you have that? I couldn't remember if you ordered it.
No, I actually just started like a pretty strict diet this year. So.
Oh, what diet are you doing?
So it's the keto diet, but every time I tell somebody that, people flip out and they're like, "Oh my God, you're eating so much fat!" But I promise that's not really it. So I consider it more like a paleo, but I'm just very low carb. I'm not intentionally adding more fat to my diet. I'm just not eating carbs.
Yeah, that's whenever I want to work on my health and weight, I always just eat protein and vegetables, and then I'll have some, like, brown rice or some rye toast or something, just, like, because if you don't eat carbs, you will be a psychopath. Like, you will be mean, and you won't have patience.
You'll be like me on the prompt project.
I really think, because carbs, I think they truly do make you, like, your brain function.
I was just going to say that too.
Yeah, but, like, you just don't need tons of carbs.
So I'm going to eat this tortilla too.
Yeah,
but it's organic or something, so I could function, yes.
Right, yeah. They're blue, too. I like the blue chips. All right, well, we're coming up to our
I was just going to say
ending point here.
Yeah.
While Maria and I stuff our face.
Mm-hmm. Do what we do best. So, Em, I will see you tomorrow at work.
Well, yeah, we're excited.
Yeah. And hopefully we can do another episode with
you can
on our iTunes.
Come do one in person. We got new mics, and I'm excited. I got colorful foamy tops, but they didn't get here yet. So anytime someone comes, they can pick their color.
I haven't seen you in a while, Deb, so it'll be nice to see you again.
Yeah, definitely come to the studio.
Come to the studio. All right, we'll organize that. Yeah, we'll pick a topic. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Enjoy your last couple of hours of the weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.